Hello everyone and welcome to today's session. So today we will be discussing the first chapter of geography, our earth and the solar system. So as the name indicates, in this lesson we will be talking about our very own earth, our planet earth, the solar system, that is the sun and the 8 planets. And apart from this, we will also be discussing uh, all the heavenly bodies which are there in the sky, right? So let's begin. First of all, let us understand what are these heavenly or celestial bodies. Children, what do we, when we look at the sky, what do we see? We see the sun, we see the moon, we see the stars, the sky full of beautiful twinkling stars. Apart from this, there are meteors, there are asteroids, there are comets, there are planets. So all these are called heavenly bodies. All these are called celestial bodies, right? So whatever we see in the universe, whatever we see in the sky, they are all celestial or heavenly bodies, right? Now, the next thing is, let us understand how this universe was created. So children, long time ago, millions and millions of years ago, everything was concentrated in a big ball, right? There was a big ball of hot burning gases, right? Long time ago. And then what happened? Due to extreme heat, this ball of gases exploded, right? It exploded, it burst, and all the tiny pieces, they scattered here and there, right? And over the years they all cooled down, and this is how the universe was formed, right? And this, some scientists believe this to be the Big Bang, right? What do they call it? This huge explosion, they call it Big Bang, right? And this is how our vast universe was formed, right? The stars, the planets, and all the heavenly bodies, all the celestial bodies, they came into existence, right? I hope this is clear to all of you. Now, let us proceed further. What is galaxy? So, children, galaxy is a group of stars, right? Um, uh, Not only stars, but a group of stars and clouds of dust and gases, right? All these form galaxy. And there are many galaxies in the universe. We cannot say that there's only one galaxy. No, there are many galaxies in the universe. Out of those many, one is ours, that is Milky Way. We also call it Akash Ganga, right? So I hope you understood what is a galaxy. The sun and the stars, they form our galaxy, that is the Milky Way or Akash Ganga. Next, moving on to the stars. So let us understand what are stars. So let me tell you, children, what are stars? Stars are nothing, they are just uh, these are these are heavenly bodies made up of hot gases, right? So the stars are made up of hot gases, right? They keep burning constantly and they emit heat and light. So we can see these stars in the sky, we can see them twinkling in the night sky, isn't it? So these are the stars. So sun is the nearest star to us, right? So all of you must be knowing that sun is a hot ball of gases, right? and it is stationary. It is fixed at its position, and it's the closest star to us. The second closest star, the second nearest star to us is Proxima Centauri, right? These celestial or heavenly bodies are far away from each other, right? These heavenly bodies, the distance between these heavenly bodies, it's huge, right? And it cannot be calculated in say meters or kilometers. We need a much bigger unit. So the unit for calculating the distance between two heavenly bodies is light year, right? What is it? What is the unit? Yes, that is light year. Clear? And the distance of, do you know the distance of Proxima Centauri from the Earth is approximately 4.25 light years. So you can imagine 4.25 light years. And you know the speed of light is 3 lakh kilometer per second. In 1 second, light covers around 3 lakh kilometers. So I hope you can imagine the distance of 1.25 light years. It's far away from us, right? The sun, the light of the sun, do you know the light of the sun reaches the earth, the sunlight, it reaches the earth in just 8 minutes. Fine. So when we watch the sky at night, we notice that there are groups of stars of different patterns. So when we watch the sky if we carefully watch the sky at night, we'll find that there are groups of stars, right? And these groups of stars, they are called constellation. So what is a constellation? It's nothing, just a group of stars, right? Now what happened in olden days, long time ago, there were no apparatus, there were no instrument to find out the direction. So people used to find out the direction with the help of these constellations, right? So these these groups of stars, they were given specific figures, and with the help of these imaginary figures, fine, I repeat, imaginary figures were given by joining these stars, right? And these figures helped to identify the direction. Fine, that is the north, south, east, west. People used to identify the directions with the help of these constellations. So, what are the main, some of the constellations are Ursa Major, which is also known as Great Bear, and Ursa Minor, which is also known as Small Bear. Then Scorpius, that is the scorpion. Leo, I hope all of you can, understand which figure represents Leo. Yes, a lion, a big lion. And Cygnus, the swan. So these are all the different constellations which helped people to identify the direction. Fine. Next thing that we'll discuss is what is pole star. So what is pole star? It's the brightest star in the north, right? It's the brightest star in the north. And it is also called North Star. So what is the other name of pole star? Yes, it is North Star. And its position is fixed in the sky. The position of this pole star doesn't change. It's fixed in the sky, right? So the first two stars of Saptarshi, that is the small bear. I repeat, the first two stars of Saptarshi, that is the small bear, these are known as pointer stars. Now, why are they known as pointer stars? Because they point at the pole star. Fine, if you look at the first two stars of Saptarshi, that is the small bear, we'll find that the first two stars, they point at the pole star, and that is the reason these two these two stars, they are called pointer stars, right? So I hope this part is clear to all of you. Now let us proceed further and talk about our solar system. Now proceeding further, let us talk about the solar system. So let us understand what is solar system. So the sun, the 8 planets, their satellites, and some other heavenly bodies like asteroids, meteors and comets, they form the solar system. And the sun is at the center of the solar system. So what is the sun? So the next point that we discuss is the sun. So sun is the largest member of the solar system. It's huge big in size, right? And it's a ball of hot gases which is burning constantly, and this is why we can see the light and we get the heat from the sun. All the planets, satellites, asteroids, comets, they all revolve around the sun. The sun is fixed at its own place, right? The sun, if we look at the sun, we see it's fixed at its own place, right? And all the planets, the comets, the meteors, they all go around the sun. But what about the sun? The sun is stationary. The sun is fixed at its own place. It doesn't move. It just gives us heat and light. The surface temperature of the sun is about 6,000 degrees centigrade. So it is very hot, right? And the sun is also made of hot gases. This is what I told you. And its gravitational force, right? I repeat, its gravitational force keeps all the members of the solar system together. It means everything is attracted towards the sun, and that is the reason why all the planets and everything, they are there at their place, right? So all the planets and the satellites shine because they reflect the light of the sun. The planets and the satellites, they do not have their own light. They reflect the light of the sun. Fine? Okay, next we'll talk about the planets. So what are planets? Planets are again the celestial bodies that do not have their own heat and light. They are spherical in shape and they have a fixed path. They move around the sun, right? They go round the sun. Like sun, the planets are not stationary. The planets are not fixed. They move round the sun. Fine? And they have their own orbit. So this elliptical path, I repeat, this elliptical path is the orbit of the planets. And apart from their own orbit, they have their axis also. It's the line on which it spins, right? So while revolving round the sun, the planets rotate also. They spin also, and they spin on their axis. So how many planets are there in the solar system? Yes, there are 8 planets in the solar system. That is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. So these are the 8 planets. Now scientists have divided these planets into 2 categories, right? So let us see what are these 2 categories. So the 2 groups, the 2 categories are inner planets and outer planets. the planets Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. These are the inner planets, right? I repeat, the planets Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars, these are the inner planets and they are made up of rocks and stones, right? And that is the reason these inner planets are also called terrestrial planets. Fine? Whereas on the other hand, the outer planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. And these planets are made of gases. So they are also known as gas giants. So the terrestrial planets and the gas giants. So I hope this part is clear. Now let us talk about our very own Earth. So our Earth is the fifth largest planet in the solar system and it is placed at the third position from the sun, right? And do you know life exists only on the earth. Why? What are the reasons? So first of all, our earth is, it's there at the exact distance from the sun. Neither it is very close nor it is far away from the sun, right? So suitable distance from the sun. This is one of the major reasons why life can survive, life can propagate on the earth, right? Secondly, because of water. So without water, can we survive? Can we live without water? Of course not. Sorry, the earth has maximum amount of water, right? And therefore it is also known as water planet or blue planet. And the third reason why life is possible on the earth is because of the atmosphere. Now, what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is a layer, it's a blanket of air covering the earth. From where we get oxygen. So can we survive? Can we live without oxygen? No. So where do we get oxygen from? Of course, from the atmosphere. So these are the reasons why life is possible on the earth. So apart from giving us oxygen, the atmosphere also protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Fine. And when we talk about earth, what is its shape? Of course, it is not exactly round in shape. It is spherical in shape with both the ends little flat, right? And the center is little bulged. The center part is little fat. Why so? Because of the rotation, because of the movement of the earth on its axis, right? So I hope this part of the chapter is very clear to all of you. We'll meet again in the next session with the rest part of the lesson, right? So read the chapter well and we'll meet soon. So thank you.